Cereal time, cereal time, cereal time, whoa.
What's up, cereal heads? Today we're going to talk about some healthy cereals. First up is Kellogg's Just Right. Now this stuff came out in the US back in 1985, but I was surprised to find out that it came out in Australia first. Here's an Australian commercial for Just Right from back in the day.
Kellogg's Just Right, however, has far less fat than toasted muesli, yet its wholesome blend of whole wheat flakes, rye, juicy sultanas, honey, oats, and the goodness of bran.
I always like the word sultanas better than raisins. I'm not sure if the Australian version was identical to the one we had here in the US, but here's a commercial with Tori Amos to explain what's in our Just Right cereal.
4 wholesome grains, each one crisp and crunchy, with the sun-rich goodness of raisins, nuts, and chopped dates. Taste that's so rich in nutrition, you get 100% of 11 vitamins and minerals.
So it had a bunch of whole grains in it. Wheat flakes, corn flakes, oats, rice puffs, and the added sweetness of raisins and chopped dates, with some slivered almonds thrown in for good measure. Now this box says new larger size, which is kind of strange because this box is already pretty small as it is. And on the back here they have this bed and breakfast guide. This was a little guide you could send away for, listing dozens of bed and breakfasts throughout the country. You can tell this cereal wasn't marketed for kids. Now Just Right stayed on shelves until 2007 when it was discontinued, but only here in the US. They still sell the stuff in Australia, the UK, and Canada. Here's a box I got from the UK. At least I think it's from the UK because they'd have little promotions for places in the UK. Now from the front of this box, it looks like this version might be a little different to the Just Right I ate growing up. Let's take a look. So here's what a bowl of Just Right cereal from the UK looks like. You can see there are no dates included in this version, and the flakes are a little smaller than the ones we had. But it's still really good. Not exactly the Just Right I grew up eating, but it's pretty tasty. Now there's one last commercial I want to show you for this cereal.
Just Right has vitamin B6. B6 here. Just Right has almonds. Just Right has sweet dates, plump raisins, plus 4 different tasty grains. Just Right has 2 out of 3 people preferring our taste, which means Just Right is just better.
See, I always thought it was weird they were targeting Total as their competition. Total is just boring flakes, no bells or whistles. The cereals aren't even similar. The cereal I always thought they should be targeting as their competition was Basic 4. Now this cereal was released by General Mills back in 1991 and had a similar makeup to Just Right. Flakes, fruits, and nuts. And you might be wondering, why was it called Basic 4? Well, from about 1956 to 1992, the USDA recommended that we eat foods from 4 basic food groups. And Basic 4 had all those food groups covered. The fruits and veggies group, and the raisins and cranberries have that covered. Meat or protein, that's where the nuts come in. Cereals and breads, that's where the wheat and corn flakes come in, and the puff rice. And lastly, dairy, that's the milk that you add to the cereal. Now this 4 basic food group idea fell by the wayside sometime around 1992 when the USDA introduced the food pyramid. You might remember seeing this pyramid in health classes back in middle school. But Basic 4 stuck around, and it's still out there today. They just don't market it around the 4 basic food groups anymore like they used to.
A colorful mix of lightly toasted flakes, sweet and tangy fruits, and crunchy nuts. Splash on cold milk and you get something tasty from each of the 4 food groups. Basic 4, the adult cereal, with a taste that never grew up.
The box has changed from the white box with a big 4 on the front of it, which I'm still looking to get my hands on, to nowadays they have this big green box. So here's what a bowl of Basic 4 cereal looks like. You can see they got all 4 of the original food groups in there, well, except the milk. I don't know, I think I might like this more than Just Right. Now obviously Basic 4 and Just Right aren't the only cereals out there with a combination of flakes, fruits, and nuts. There are many versions, from the major brands to the smaller brands you find at health food stores. But I think these 2 flake, fruit, nut cereals will always be my favorites. Okay, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay crunchy. And what about you? What's your favorite healthy cereal?
Cereal time, cereal time.